In this video, I'll teach you the various methods to create, edit and format text in AutoCAD. You can try out the text related commands in this figure, and this figure is provided along with the video. If you want to create a text object in AutoCAD, you can go to Annotation panel and you can click on the text flyout menu. When you click here, you will get two options. You can create a single line text or a multi-line text. I'll click on single line text and I'll just zoom in this area, and I would like to create a text here, and the text is living room. Now you are asked to specify the start point of the text, and the start point is nothing but the justification point. So I'll just click on the start point. The moment you click on the start point, the software will ask you to specify the height. This height can be either specified as a numeric value, or else you can just pick a point so that the distance between the start point and the pick point will be taken as the height. So I'll do that. I'll just pick a point. Now it will ask me to give a rotation angle. If you want to write the text rotated, you can give a suitable angle here. Now I don't want to do that, so I'll just give an enter. Now it will ask you to specify the text. I'll write the text as living room. Living, then I'll give an enter. Now the text automatically flows to the next line. Then you can write the next word. Now just give enter, enter to go out of the text command. Now each text you create will act as a separate object. This is how you create a single line text. You actually want to write different text in different rooms. So you don't have to give text command each and every time. But instead, you can go for a copy command and you can select the text, and this is the base point and this is the second point. This is another second point. Then you can choose another point over here. Likewise, you can take as many copies as you want. Then all you have to do is just double click on the text to be edited, and you can type the new text. I'll call this as a bedroom, so I can type bed. Okay, so that text is edited. Likewise, you can just double click and edit individual text. I want to make this a dining room. Now this should again be a bedroom. Likewise, you can create any number of texts. Now I'm going to repeat text command once more. So I'll go to Annotation panel and I'll choose the text command, single line text, and I'll pick the start point over here. But before picking the start point, you can go to the justify option. Now the software shows different justification options. You can write a text left justified. That's what you have done just now. You can go for center justification, right, align, middle, fit. Likewise, you have a number of options. For example, the TR stands for top right justification. ML stands for middle left justification. These justification points are based on the text bounding box. What exactly is a text bounding box? A text bounding box is defined as an imaginary rectangular box which can hardly accommodate the text. The various points of the text bounding box can be used as justification points. Now I would like to select the middle justification. So it will ask me for the middle justification point. Now the height is the recent height. So just give an enter. Rotation angle, enter. Now I am asked to give the text. I'll write the text as kitchen. Now give an enter. One more enter. So when you click on this text, you can see a grip at the justification point. You will always have a grip at the start point of the text. When you click on this particular text, the start point as well as the left justification points are the same. Hence, by clicking on a text, you can identify the justification point. You can also snap onto the justification point using the insert or snap item. For example, I'll give the move command and I'll select the objects to be moved. When I'm asked to select the base point, I would like to choose the justification point. So shift right click and I'll choose insert option and click on it. Now the software will automatically snap onto the insertion point, which is the justification point of this text. Now I'll show you one more justification option. I'll give text command again, single line text, go to justify option. Now I have a fit option. Now the software will ask you for the first endpoint of the text baseline. Then I'll turn the ortho mode on and I'll pick the next endpoint of the text baseline. Now it will ask you for the height. Let the height be the same. So I'll give an enter. Now I'm asked to give the text. I'll give the text as toilet. Now give one more enter. Now when you click on this text, you can see two justification points, and this particular text is perfectly fit within these 2 points. So likewise, rest of the justification options you can explore on your own. After you create a text, any parameter related with the text can be edited using the Properties panel. Suppose I want to change the height of all the text to a certain value. So how would you get the current height? For that, just select any text and press Ctrl 1. The current height is displayed as 27.9. Suppose if I want to change the height of all the text to 20. So all I have to do is just press Ctrl 1. So you will get the Properties panel. You go to Quick Select. You can select the object type to text and you can just give OK. Now it will select all the text. Here the height is presently 27.9. You select the height and you make it 20. Now just give an enter. Now the height of all the text got changed to 20. If you need any clarifications on using the Quick Select, please refer my tutorial on various methods of object selection. Using the Properties palette, you can change the general properties such as color, layer, line type, etc. You can also change a special property related with the text that is called style. For that you have to select a text. I'll select the kitchen. Then here you can see the style as standard. So let's see what style is. In AutoCAD, you can save various parameters related with the text such as height, font, width factor, oblique angle, etc. under a common title called a style. Using the style command, you can create, edit, access or delete a particular style. So I'll give style. Now you'll get a text style dialog box. Here the present style is standard. Okay, if you want to create a new style, I'll click on the new button and I'll call the style as SAB. Then click on the SAB style. You can choose a particular font for that style. A font is nothing but a letter type. Here, corresponding to these fonts, you can see the letter T. T stands for True Type Font or TTF font, and these are all Windows based fonts. When you just scroll down, you can see certain fonts with an extension of SHX, which stands for the shapefile, which are native AutoCAD fonts. When you click on this particular font, these are all single line fonts, which won't be that impressive. And these fonts were highly popular at the time of pen plotters. Now I'll choose this Vijaya font. You can choose the font style. It can be bold or regular. I'll make it bold. If you want, you can make it annotative. We'll talk about that later. Don't fix any height here, because once you fix a height in this dialog box, AutoCAD won't ask you for the height anymore. So you can write it upside down if you want, which is very rarely used. If you want, you can write it backwards, which is again seldom used. You can also provide a width factor using which you can stretch or compress a font. So I'm not going to do that either. Then you can give an oblique angle using which you can give a certain amount of rotation for individual fonts. So this is all I want. I'll just give apply. Suppose if I want to change the style of this particular text from standard to SAB, all I have to do is select the text, press Ctrl 1, just click on the style option. Here you can see all the created styles and I want to make it to SAB. Click on that. Now you can see that you have changed the style of that particular text. Next I'll talk about multi-line text. If you want to write multi-line text, you just go to annotation panel and you just click on multi-line from here. Now it will ask you to pick the first corner of the multi-line text window. I'll pick a point over here, then I move the mouse rightward and I pick the opposite corner point here. Now you can see a text window. Your text will be written within this window. You can pick the opposite corner at any desired point depending upon the size of the text window. So I'll just pick to define it. Now here you can write the text. Now when you get this text window, you will get a text editor ribbon in which you will see all the parameters related with the multi-line text. I'll write some text here and I'll give enter. Now it flows to the next line, then give enter. Likewise, you can type any number of characters to create a multi-line text. Alternatively, you can also copy paste a text from a text editor. I'll delete all this text. So I'll select this text and press the backspace key. Now I'll go to Notepad. Here I have a text which is written. So I'll select all the text. Then I'll press Ctrl C to copy it. Then I'll click over here, then Ctrl V to paste it. Okay, now the text is written within this area. Since the size of the text is more than the size of the window, it got split into two parts. So I'll just click over here and I'll drag it to get a proper size for the window. So when you click on this handle at the corner, you can flexibly resize the size of the text window. When you go through the text editor ribbon, you can see that it consists of almost all options which you see in a text editor or word processor software. Suppose if you want to change the style from SAB to standard style, just click on that. Now it will ask you whether you want to change it. I'll give yes. Now the style got changed. You can also make it annotative. We'll talk about that later. You can change the height of a text. For that you have to select a text. Then you can give a different value over here. I'll make it say 35. Give enter. So that particular text got changed. You can mask the text if you want. Mask will add an opaque background color behind the text. For that, just click on the mask. You have to activate use background mask. Then border offset factor you have to give. Border offset factor, if you give above 1, it will draw a border outside the text. If it is below 1, it will draw a border inside the text. In fact, a value which is above 1 is preferred. If you click on use background color, the background color, which is this particular gray color, will be used as a background mask. But I would like to give a different color. I'll give red, for example. When you click on red and give OK, you will see the red color as a background color. So that's the use of mask option. Now I'll click on the mask and I'll disable use mask option and give OK. So the background color disappears. Next we have an option called match over here. So using the match option, you can extract the property from an existing text and it can be given to any other text in the text window. For example, I want to give the property of this particular text onto some other text. For that, all you have to do is select the text from which you want to extract the property. Then you click on the match option. Then you click on the text where you want to impart this property. So just select this text. You can see that this text will get the property of the selected text. I'll disable the match option. Next, I'll select a text from the text window. Now you can make it bold or you can make it italic. You can underline it. You can overline it. Likewise, you can add almost all text related property to the selected text. You can also change the font to any other font. You can change the color to a different color. Now you can come to justification and you can make it top left, top right, or any other justification you can stick to. The default justification was top left. You can add bullets and numbering to the existing characters. You can change the line spacing. Justification can be controlled for the selected characters by first selecting the characters. Then you can just click on this particular button. It can be left justified or center justified or middle justified. Any desired justification option you can stick to. The column based changes you can perform here. You can add any desired symbol. This is a very useful option. These symbols are characters. You can add any special characters to an existing text. These symbols are not available in the keyboard. For example, if I want to add a diameter symbol, all you have to do is just click on the diameter. So it will add the diameter symbol onto the existing multi-line text. You can activate the spell checking. So when the spell check is activated, if there is a spelling mistake, that particular word will be shown underlined in red color. Then you can change the dictionaries. You can edit the dictionaries. You can go for American English or British English or any other. You have the find and replace option, which you normally see in a text editor software. Okay, these are the common editing operations that can be performed on existing multi-line text. Once you finish all the editing operations, you can just click on close multi-line text editor to come out of the mText ribbon. I'll select and double click the multi-line text and I'll go to mask option. I'll use the background mask and this time I'll use the drawing background color. Now the drawing background color is black and you can see a black background color here. Now I'll just close the text editor. Now I'll turn on the grid mode. Now you will see the grid lines here. Now you can see the grid lines and the multi-line text with a black background color. Next I'll move and keep this multi-line text on the top of this particular plan. You have a command in AutoCAD called DR, which stands for draw order. When you give DR command, it will ask you to select the object. Now just give an enter. Now we can bring this object above a certain object or under a certain object or in front of certain object or in back. I'll bring this object under all these objects. Now you can see that this text is taken backwards. Likewise, using the draw order command, you can control the order of display of objects in AutoCAD. Now I'll undo these changes. Just give undo. You can also change the various parameters related with the multi-line text using the properties palette. So I'll select the multi-line text and I'll type Ctrl+1. Here you can change the style. If I want, I can make it to SAB. Then I can make it annotative or justification options I can control here. The direction, the height, rotation, line space factor, and a number of other parameters you can control using the properties palette. A single line and multi-line text can also be written using the annotate tab. Here you have an option of single and multi-line text, and you can change the parameters such as style, the height of the font and things like that using this panel. You can also get the style dialog box by clicking on this particular arrow over here. So you'll get the same dialog box which you get using the style command. So that's all about text in AutoCAD.